until now, we have seen extensive use of the present subjunctive in Spanish, but there is also an imperfect or past subjunctive in Spanish, and its uses are exactly as before, as well as most all of the same scenarios. What is different is how to form the verb in this conjugation. Just as before, when we introduced the concept of the subjunctive, we will use this chart again to describe what the past subjunctive is. It is past tense and subjunctive in mood. And even though this verb form is called both past subjunctive and the imperfect subjunctive, we are not going to differentiate anything in aspect like we did with preterite and imperfect. There is another form of the past tense subjunctive, but it is not used as much and only by certain dialects. For that reason, we are not going to go over this here. Should you continue to take upper division Spanish grammar at a university, then you will learn the difference there. For now, we are just going to focus on this one imperfect subjunctive form. First off, how do we form the past or imperfect subjunctive? We start off with the third person plural form of the preterite. This is that we can take care of any irregularities that might arise. If we start with this form, there are no irregular forms specific to the imperfect subjunctive. So if we take verbs like escuchar, comer, ser, oír, and decir, we start with the ellos, ellas, ustedes form of the preterite of these verbs. Next, we take off the on at the end. This leaves us with the stem for the imperfect subjunctive. Last, add the endings that are appropriate for the subject. These endings are a, as, a, amos, and an. Take note of a few things. 1. The nosotros form has an accent on the syllable before the amos. Second, there are no other accent marks. Otherwise, this would look and sound exactly like the simple future indicative tense, which we do not want. Third, the subject endings are the same, regardless of what kind of verb we want to conjugate. So, in many ways, the imperfect subjunctive is one of the easiest forms to conjugate. All we need to do is remember the preterite forms. As for the uses of the past or imperfect subjunctive, we are going to use the same rules that we have always used for the subjunctive, that we need a trigger that expresses or implies desire, recommendation, emotion, or doubt. We need a que that introduces a second clause. The difference here is that we will use the past or imperfect subjunctive when the trigger verb is in the past, be it predicate or imperfect. Let's look at a couple of examples. Era importante que los niños durmieran la siesta. We can see that era is in the imperfect, so even though we have all of the conditions met for the subjunctive, we need to use the past subjunctive because era is the trigger phrase in the past tense. A second example. Mis padres querían que nosotros hiciéramos la tarea antes de mirar la televisión. Again, querían is in the imperfect, and so the subjunctive used in the sentence is in the past tense as well. Hopefully this video helps to explain the formation and the use of the past or imperfect subjunctive. With this in mind, we can expand our repertoire of conversation options.